Hello and welcome back to another episode of the OS Academy. My name's Zetron, and today we're going to go over some time-lapse mapping. 1 hour and 16 minutes and 12 minutes. Let's go! Alright, the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to set out a base. It might just look like circles are going everywhere, but later on I'm going to be adjusting those into what you'll see as a map. Once I've got enough circles to play with, you'll notice that I'm going to go back and actually start adjusting their combos and adding combo colors to them. This is so I know what notes and where combos go. It's a lot more important than you think. Alright, now that I've got enough of that done, I'm actually going to start going in and editing them and turning them into patterns. Make sure you tweak your sliders, have them all set up perfectly. You'll notice I do a lot of horizontal flip. That's just something I prefer. Some people call it lazy, but I'm not going to sit there and call it lazy. I like the way it looks. Alright, as we move forward, you'll see adjustments and little stuff like that. You'll also know I do rewind it quite a bit, and you have to remember this is incredibly sped up footage. So when I'm rewinding it like that, I'm actually watching it play through and seeing where the next notes should fade, so I have a better idea of where I want to place my next object. And as we move here, you see all kinds of different patterns, jump patterns, basic patterns. You'll see distance snap turn off quite a bit during this whole thing. You'll also see quite a few messages, unfortunately. People just love to talk to me. Alright, you'll notice I also try to fine-tune my sliders and make them just perfect there. I'll align it with the approach circle of the previous one to just make that curve super sexy. Because we got a good curve on that, I'll just use that same slider, flip it over, and 2 sexy curved sliders instantly. And Lolliflan just really needed to talk to me, guys, so we do apologize for Lolliflan there, but he's good. So let's get further in here. As you see, I'm moving through here, going around, adjusting stuff as I need to. And as again, I kind of hit that like a DJ scratch board. I constantly go back. And if a pattern can align properly to the next side, I will flip it over. That's just the kind of mapper I am, I guess. But there's nothing wrong with that per se. Alright, so we'll start making some adjustments here. And go ahead and add a side slider there. And I'm not going to tell you guys what the song is till it's done. I'll be showcasing that here in a little bit. After this whole time lapse is over, you'll be able to actually hear what the song is. So just keep that in mind, like, because this is not the song. The song that's playing right now has nothing to do with what's actually being created. Alright. Okay, so I'm almost done with this set of patterns here. I got a few other things to do. Tweak that slider over. I think it looks better that way. This last little section here. I do mess up a little bit here. I start setting the notes, and then I accidentally stacked that 7 under the 6, and then I lost it, didn't realize where it was, and then I found it, and then I brought it back. So now that we've got that done, I'll do a test play of it real quick just to see how good it plays. Everything looks pretty decent, so I'm going to move forward right away there. So I just start setting out my base again, and once you got your base going, just like before, once you've got enough circles that you feel like you're okay with playing with, then you could go back and start to give them combos. Now, I might do this in a stranger order than other people, because I've definitely seen other mappers, and they go around and they're like, okay, I'm going to set down my entire thing, I'm going to shape it, I'm going to create the entire beat map, then I'll give it combos. But I like to do the combos, the hit sounds, and the beat placement all at the same time. Then all I'm left tasked with is shaping it into a map. I'm not saying it's the best method, by any means, no. But for me, it works. And you should always do what works. You should do what you like. You shouldn't do anything that you go, I have to think about that. I'm not sure if I like that. Like, if you have to think about it, it's probably not a good idea. Alright, so I'm just going to go through here a couple more times. And you'll see me, like, rewind a whole bunch because I'm just very unsure about myself all the time. Here I went ahead and did a crazy pattern. It looks really silly there, but it's not nearly as silly as you think once it's actually played. Because the editor doesn't really show the notes fading as much as they would in gameplay, I guess. Because it still looks like a jumbled mess for the most part right now. You're probably watching this and you're like, wow, I still have no idea what's going on, which is fine, because I would agree with you. It's kind of hard to understand, but if you look closely, you'll start to see shape take form. And another thing you'll have to notice is when these are created like this, using vertical flip is something I prefer because it just gives you a nice feel, and you're able to really emphasize on how you want your patterns to work with the music. One thing I would like to say though is this is actually a faster difficulty than I normally do, because I think one of the reasons why is I didn't get stuck in test limbo. And other mappers, you might be able to agree with me there. Test limbos where you just keep on testing your map, and then before long you've just forgotten where you want to go with it in a direction, and it is a very terrible feeling to get, and procrastination is very evil. Nobody loves procrastination, but luckily I was able to knock this out pretty quickly. Alright, so we're going to be adjusting those other things here. Pretty much for what's going on right now, it's more or less just the edit phase here. You'll see places like right here, I'm taking attention to detail on the slider pattern. I want it to go out and move back and forth as it's going. I'll get this other pattern here. I do lock a lot of X and Y axis mapping. I like it. I prefer it. Now there are mappers out there that can do excellent free form mapping, and I think that is so cool that they could do that. But I've always been an axis baby, and I'll probably be stuck to it for as long as I map. Alright, but it looks like this pattern here is almost done. I'm going to be going for a simple cross vertical, and here I realized I could just use the slider converter to make that pattern, so why even bother? Just convert that slider into a stream. Boom. Perfect circle stream. Don't have to worry about it. So I go through here and test, and I messed up pretty bad, so that makes me question the timing a little bit. But as you see, I go back through there for a second play and test it again, and I do just fine. But you want to make sure that you're doing that. As you can see on the side, my timing is still like 13% off. I might still go in later on and tweak that timing a little bit further, because I like to have around 8 to 7%, because you have to give credibility for human error. It's gonna happen. There's no way you can play it perfectly just like a machine. I don't care who you are when it turns. You could be the best player in the world. You're still not going to be as cold and calculated as a machine. Impending comments that say, "Oh, there's definitely machines." But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and, as you see, I'm sitting up here and setting up some of these other ones. I'll probably add this as a Kai section later on, as it kind of builds up in the song at this moment. That's why I kind of go a little bit heavier on the streams. But I also lay off the streams as well and go to some jumps. And now, my jumps aren't 1/4 jumps or 1/2 jumps. They are 1/1 jumps. So that is why they are so far on the timeline. They're just 1/1 notes. So definitely can do full screen jumps when it's that far on the timeline. And this is probably going to be the insane, which it's not very insane to begin with, but you know, just a general idea. I feel like I've talked a lot during this whole thing, but I'm having fun, and I hope you guys are enjoying this. And if you like watching this, feel free to let me know. I'll definitely do more of these. And if you guys want them without my commentary, which I'm completely fine with, I will do the next one with just annotations. That way you can just read and chill out to the music and watch something get creative. Because I feel some of the people watching my channel probably know what mapping is, and they just kind of want to see some really cool stuff brought out, which is great. But for those that have no idea what's going on, I definitely recommend checking out the mapping tutorial videos in the channel. They might help out a little bit. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and test this here. As you can see, went through there, no big issues. So I'm going to go ahead and start editing that other stack of notes I had there. I'm going to add in some fill-ins, and then I think here I'm going to start adjusting combos. I think I might have actually, like when I'm running low on steam, I will kind of devoid the certain way I just said to do it. Like, you know how set out all your notes and adjust your combos. Well, I already know how the combos are going to work at this point, and I just wanted to get back into mapping. You'll also notice that the playback rate is at 75%. And I keep it slowed down so I can see what's going on at all times. Now, obviously, in this time-lapse video, you can't really see what's going on too much, as, you know, everything's kind of going around. Looking back at this pattern right there, though, I'm probably going to change that. That looks ugly. That red one right there. I do some nice crisscrosses here, and I use the other circle as my guide to kind of make sure that that looks smooth. And we're hitting the grand stretch of the finish here. I'm going to be adjusting these last couple combos, and then I'll go ahead and let the map play so you guys can check it out. But yeah, guys, definitely give me your feedback on this and let me know what you think of it. Because if this is something you guys like to watch, I'll definitely do more of them. But without any further ado, let's listen to this map now that it's fully created. All right, and that's all she wrote with that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this, and if you guys want to see more stuff like this, definitely let me know. I know I kind of sound like a broken record with that, but this was a whole lot of fun. And so I hope you enjoyed it, and if you guys have any more questions, feel free to let me know. And remember, rhythm's only a click away, and we'll see you real soon.